Hey everybody, welcome back to Cabin Creek Homestead. It is restock day for our animals' food bins, which I feel like they always run out around the same time, so it's always the most expensive time of the month. But anyway, I'm going to show you what our storage looks like and what the different food is that we feed our animals. And their food fluctuate based on their needs. We do have regular vet visits, and I will always ask their opinion based on how the animals are looking, especially the horses, how they're looking, how they're behaving, how their feet are doing. So our food does fluctuate, but for now, let me show you a little cocktail of food that we've got going on in these storage bins behind me. You might first be wondering why our food is in our garage instead of in the barn. And the biggest reason really is because I have seen firsthand the awful fallout that happens when animals break into their feed rooms. This is the least likely place that they're going to get into. Goats are great escape artists, and they don't stop eating when they're full. They will eat and eat and eat, and because they're ruminant animals, and overeating can really hurt any animal, but it's very hard to treat a goat because they can't burp. So horses also tend to overeat, and there are some things in here that are very sweet, and the biggest thing, as you have heard us talk about, is how much that can upset their metabolism, and their blood sugar can spike, and that leads to major problems not only in their gut. They could definitely colic, which is like a twisting of the intestines, but it can really affect their feet. I've seen horses that get into their feed rooms, or maybe a stall was left unlocked, or the food wasn't left locked up, and then the next day the horse is standing with all 4 feet in buckets of ice trying to cool off their feet because of how severely overeating, and especially eating sweet things, can affect their feet. So keeping it in the garage is giving me several barriers of protection in this area. So behind me, we have these big yellow storage bins, and right here is the one. Why did I think I could do that? Right here is the one for our horses. So right now we have a really simple mixture. You can't see that. I don't know how to show you this. So this bucket right here is what our horses' feed is in. Previously, we had alfalfa pellets, as well as just a run-of-the-mill standard senior equine pellet. I'm going to actually be switching over to Triple Crown Senior. Honestly, it's their TikToks that have done it for me. I love the nutrient densities that are in it, and I think it is a well-formulated brand. My vet also agreed that it's time to switch to Triple Crown Senior. Both of the horses are in their very late teens, early 20s, and so they are no longer easy keepers, especially Charlene. I had the vet out last week to look at her because she has lost weight, and she was dewormed on time, and I was suspecting that she needed to have her teeth floated. If you don't know what that means, it means a horse's tooth will continue to grow unless it's pushing up against another tooth. So where there is like a tooth down here but not a tooth up top, that tooth will keep growing, and it pushes into the gums, and it makes a weird squeaking noise. So she was not comfortable while she was eating, and I think she lost weight because of that. So he floated her teeth, which is just filing them down. Looking at her body condition overall, it does look like she has a pinched nerve in her back. I think it's very difficult for her to walk well. And so we're looking for a chiropractor. If you know of one in North Carolina that would like to come out here and perform some chiropractic services on our sweet horse. This is her retirement home, and she worked hard as a broodmare for many years. And I think she deserves to have a happy and healthy place to retire from all of her hard work. I think several of her foals went on to become world champions as Tennessee walking horses. I would like to find a chiropractor in our area that loves horses and wants to see them retire well. Now, moving on, I want to show you a little bit what we feed our chickens. We have different ages we have chicks, and then we have chickens. So we have separate food for them. Let me show you that to you. So here we have, we have a combination of foods in here for our chickens. The main ingredient here is a 16% layer feed. This is a crumble. It is specifically formulated for egg layers. I'm smiling because when we got these chicks back in November and I was watching them grow up, I was like, these are all roosters. They're going to be meat birds. No, I think we might have one rooster. So I love being wrong because we have so many eggs now. Anyway, mixed into here is a little bit of cracked corn as well as sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds. And we also have crushed granite. You can add crushed granite or oyster shells into your chicks' feed. It's a twofold purpose. One is to help them to break up and digest their food. They don't have teeth, they can't chew. And so sometimes they eat sand or get little like pelleted oysters or crushed up oysters to help them digest their food. But it also adds calcium into their diet, and that helps the eggshells to be very firm. If you ever have a chicken that lays an egg that is very soft, you have a calcium deficiency. So you can add oysters, you can even add crushed up eggshells back into their diet, or you can use granite. So let's see, what else is in here? Occasionally we'll throw mealworms in here. I'm very interested in growing our own mealworm in farming. I got worms. A worm farm. I want to have a worm farm because mealworms are so incredibly expensive. So I'd love to farm our own as soon as I learn how to do that. They absolutely go bonkers over mealworms. It's a great source of protein. Chickens are not vegetarians. And so that's what our big chickens eat. And then we have a separate little container. And that right there, that tub is duck food. And I feed them separately by putting the duck food in their water. How are you gonna get out?
The door.
My child just locked herself into the trunk of the car. So I feed my ducks separately by putting their food in the water. They love to swim around in their pool, and I sprinkle their food on top of their water, and they're the only ones that go after it because they're the only ones that can apparently breathe underwater. So let me show you our baby chick food. This is ultra simple baby chick food. This is just a chick crumble. It's a starter food for your baby chicks, and this one is medicated. This is another reason that I keep my food in here in the garage away from the barn and away from the pasture, because medicated food chick food is incredibly dangerous for goats, and goats will stop at nothing to get their face into a giant bag of food. So having this medicated chick food away from them just gives me peace of mind, helps me sleep at night. One of the other things I keep stored in here is our minerals. They are free range minerals. They're a loose mineral for our horses and for our goats. And I have these cute little things that I just hang on their stall, and whenever they want some extra minerals, they can just go in there and lick it. The goats love it. The horses don't come to it as much, but it does have salt in it, which when they need it, I see them going up to it. I have been told that horses and goats know when they have a little deficiency, and they will go to the minerals and kind of self-dose themselves when they know that they need it. So that's what our food storage looks like. And then right here on this shelf, I have our grooming supplies, as well as a few other supplements. Charlene gets joint support, and here's their flax. I have some B12 right here. It's really hard to do this because the camera makes it opposite. And then Clara's supplements are right here. We do have some Butte in case anybody's in pain. And then we have our fly spray, and then we have our cartons for eggs. We try to use these and then reuse them for our neighbors. So that's what it looks like down here. I'm not going to show you the other half of the garage because you will definitely judge me. Even if you're the least judgmental person in the world, you will judge me. Let's go feed some animals. All right, here I am. They already know what to expect. So our animals also have a lovely amount of hay that they are able to graze on at any time. Well, that's it. That's how we feed Thanks for tuning in today. If you have any questions, ask somebody else who knows more than me. Have a great day.